Welcome to today's mini workshop on the Neal's Yard Remedies skincare boosters. Many of you have seen these already and are using them, but this is just a little bit of information about each of the four different ones. Yes, you did hear me right. There are now four. A fourth one was launched just last month. Um, how to use them, what they look like. I can describe what they smell like, although most of them are unscented, and how you can incorporate these into your usual skincare routine. Really simply, really easily. I know most of you haven't got the time or even the desire for a lot of fuss with a skincare routine, so it's all about keeping it simple today. Okay, so let's start with the four. I have all four here. Try and work out how I can show them. There we go. So all four here, beautiful little bottles. Neal's Yard, of course, glass bottles. Most of them have a little dropper, as you can see here, and the color-coded labels to tell us what they are. There we go, and we'll go through each of them in turn. So I'll start with what I believe has been the most popular so far. It has beautiful results and is a name you probably, if you're into skincare in any way, shape, or form, it's a name you'll probably know, and that's hyaluronic acid. Um, when I first came across this about 15 years ago, I was told it was like snail trail. So it's the gel that's in snail trail, but it's what keeps snails moist and plump and hydrated. And in fact, our own bodies, the human body produces hyaluronic acid as well. And yes, it's easier to say than it is to spell. It's a really difficult name. But the human body produces hyaluronic acid, um, but we lose it, especially as women and as we get a bit older. Our skin dries out naturally. That's part of the process, part of the change in menopause. But also there's other reasons that skin dries out. Time of year, whereas as we change from summer into autumn, you can see I'm in already in my autumn jumper, and the skin, the colder weather will also dry out our skin, especially as we start to put heating on as well. If we don't drink enough water, I know my clients will be laughing at me because at the end of a treatment, I always say, drink more water, drink more water. The more water we drink, the more hydrated our skin is. And I've proved that to myself time and time again. The times where I've not drunk enough water, and then I start again, and my skin looks so much better for it. So if your skin is dry, the first thing I would suggest is drink more water and then start on the skincare boosters. So hyaluronic acid, it's in many, many skincare creams and potions, lotions and potions these days. It's really popular. It is absolutely magical. Uh, the one that Neal's Yard uses is from a natural plant, obviously, and they receive it in a powder form. And I've seen it in process where they put some powder in a petri dish, add some water, and the water literally sucks the hyaluronic acid in. And so when there is moisture in your skin, it will suck this in and kind of plump it up and turn it into that beautiful gel, plumped, nice looking skin. So that is the hyaluronic acid. It comes in a gel. It is a plain, clear, unscented gel. You can probably just about see that in there. If I hold, there we go. You can see the marker just there where it is, and it is a clear gel. Okay. It's completely unscented, which is lovely because you can then add it into whatever your usual skincare is. And the hyaluronic acid is for dry or dehydrated skin, as we've already talked about. Traveling is another reason our skin becomes dehydrated, particularly if you do a lot of long haul traveling or if you spend a lot of time in the sun or outdoors. You can just see, I've held my hand upright and that is only slowly beginning to dribble down. So it is a gel, it's not a liquid. It will also help because of its plumping capacity as it turns into a gel in your skin. It will help plump up fine lines and wrinkles as well. So this little drop, you can see there we go, the light is catching that, and that's just going to cover. In fact, that's covering all my hand. One drop will do your whole face. And I will show you that in just a minute on the other on my face. And that's going in really nicely. And when we learnt these, when we were introduced to these at the conference, and we each got to have a go. So I'm really kind of drying that in now, but that's drying really nice and smooth and dry. And there's no stickiness, no tackiness. It's not quite dry. So no, there we go. It's dry, and that's completely dry. There's no tackiness left from that gel, which you might expect, and it really isn't there. When we tried this at the conference, we did exactly that. We did it on the back of a hand, and then 20 minutes later, we were asked to look at our hands, and the difference, in fact, already, I don't know if you can see that. No, there you go. I think this already looks clearer and brighter, and certainly more hydrated than this one. So yeah, here we go. So dry and dehydrated skin, fine lines and wrinkles. It also has hibiscus extract to add additional moisture. And hibiscus extract is also quite detoxifying. So it will just generally make the skin feel particularly lovely and supple. These little bottles are 50 mils, 25 mils, but there's 125 uses. You do only need a drop, maybe two at the most. If your skin's very dry and you're using it neat, you would only use, you could use 2 drops, but generally you'd just use a drop. So 125 uses, and this one is £18. So just as a booster into your normal routine, it's a brilliant little extra, little bottle of magic. So the next one I'm going to show you is the rosehip oil. And this is the only one that isn't a gel. It is, as it says on the bottle, rosehip oil. And derived from or extracted from rose hips, which are plentiful on the hedgerows at this time of year and are this glorious, this kind of pinky red colour. They extract the seeds, and from the seeds they crush them and extract the oil, as many oils are extracted. Rose hip seed oil has the most healing benefits. Yes, it promotes skin cell regeneration. It encourages the skin to be smoother and more supple because it's an oil. But more importantly, it reboosts the regeneration. So it's very good for bringing on newer, fresher skin. So if you're using one of these to plump the skin that's already there, actually, if you use this as well, you will bring the new skin that grows underneath will grow back fresher and fuller and will grow back more quickly as well. So this is perfect to help with dullness and hyperpigmentation. Rose hips naturally contain lots and lots of vitamin C, and that comes out in the oil. And that's why it's perfect. It's brilliant to reduce that dullness. It kind of lifts and brightens the skin. And the vitamin C is wonderful for hyperpigmentation. And that's any kind of discoloration. So you'll see I'm here, no makeup today because I am going to use some of these on my face. But you'll see I have my little bits here, and I'm working on those at the moment with one of the others that you'll see. And I am noticing a difference. I'm noticing some fading, particularly on this one here. This one's been here a lot longer. This one is already kind of beginning to fade a little bit already, which is great. So rose hip oil you could use on your face underneath your moisturizer or serum, but you could also use it as a great way to heal scar tissue. So instead of one of the branded oils that you're often recommended after surgery to reduce the scar tissue, then you could use this as a natural alternative. So here is this beautiful coloration. I just think that's gorgeous. And that's a natural color from the rose hip. So I'm going to put a little bit, it is an oil, so it's going to run a lot. There we go. So my hand is actually quite dry today. There you go. You can see that just kind of running down the hand. And if I rub that in, this is not going to absorb fully because it's an oil. It takes that bit longer. But one drop has clearly done that, and right down my arm. Yeah, right down the arm. And that doesn't smell either. It's an oil. It smells slightly oily, but not unpleasant at all. There we go. So that's the rosehip oil for dullness and hyperpigmentation, but also for healing. So any acne scars or scarring on the face, it would really help with that as well. So the next one that I'm going to use is the new one, and this is the one you probably haven't seen before. If you use these, you probably haven't seen this one, and this is the Mahonia Clear Skin Gel, and this is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It will work with oily skin as opposed to the dry. So the others are more for dry skin. This is more for oily skin, and it will help to balance the sebum production. A lot of the things for oily skin often dry out the skin, and then the skin just naturally produces more sebum. This will balance out uh, the um, the sebum production in your skin. It does contain herbs. It is scented. It is slightly coloured. I think it smells gorgeous. It's very herby. There's thyme. There's calendula. There's mahonia. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm just reading some notes to make sure I don't miss anything from this absolutely gorgeous uh, thyme and calendula. Yes, and centella asiatica is the other one I was trying to find. And these come the way they produce this is they make tinctures, so they steep them in a little alcohol and then extract the extract from that and then add it to this. So I'm going to put it on top of the hyaluronic acid. You can use this as a skincare booster, as I'm going to show you with the rest, and or you could use this directly onto individual blemishes, and it works on all types of blemishes. So it will balance the skin tone as well as treating blemishes. Blemishes, I mean spots, and I don't just mean teenage acne, but as we get a bit older, sometimes our skin changes and we are prone to a few blemishes. Let's keep that word. So this one comes in a pump rather than a dropper, and that's to make sure you get just the right amount of dose. We don't want too much of this. It doesn't need to be too much. So I'm going to pop a little bit onto my hand, and you'll see there. So that's quite a dark color, and it has this really beautiful herby tincturey smell, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, it's a gel. It will go quite a long way. One pump like that will cover the whole face, or you could tap it onto individual. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got any at the moment. You could just tap it on to individual blemishes. I also found that during the summer, my skin went a little oily, and this had just been released. And so I did try it for a couple of weeks until my skin settled down again. And it was beautiful. It smells lovely. It feels really nice on the skin. It applies, you don't need to use too much pressure, and it applies really nicely. And again, that's gone nice and dry. And on top of the hyaluronic acid, of course. And you can layer these up. That's the beauty of these. So that's the Mahonia. And then last but not least, this is my favorite. This is what I'm using at the moment to work on my hyperpigmentation. This is vitamin C. It does contain some hyaluronic acid as well. So it works for dullness, it works for dryness, and it works for the uneven skin tone. So whether that's areas of hyperpigmentation or a general uneven skin tone, vitamin C and hyaluronic acid together will help combat that. And it's absolutely, I just think it's beautiful. It's so lovely. So with this one, I'm then going to show you how to use it. So there's two ways of using it. And because I'm going to apply it to my face, I'm just going to slip my glasses up. So again, it's a dropper bottle. It is slightly coloured, but it's completely unscented. So I can either apply it neat to my skin. My skin is freshly clean. And I know I've got the others on there, but it is only the skincare boosters. So I'm going to show you how to do that first of all. So one drop. If my skin was particularly dry, I could use two. Don't move it around too much because you want it on your face and not on your hands. And then just I'm going to pat it around the skin and nice upward smooth sweeping movement. And because it contains hyaluronic acid, we always want that down the neck to prevent that dry neck as well. So I could, from here, having just applied it neat to my skin, I could then go on and use my serum and also my moisturizer. So at night time, I'll quite often do that because I enjoy a skincare ritual. So I'll do that when I use the Nourishing Orange Flower Nighttime Cream. If I want a quick boost, if I'm in a rush, and for those of you who love a really super simple skincare routine, the easiest way is to mix it with your current moisturizer. So I've got here my daytime moisturizer, which is the almond moisturizer. And in the summer, I'll use that at night as well because it's nice and light. It's not over heavy. It's not hugely scented. It's very slightly rosish, I suppose. So I put a little less on my hand than I would normally. So the way my skin is at the moment, that's kind of a bit less than I would normally put on. Not very much at all. I'll then put one drop of the booster. Whoops, you can't see that, sorry. On top of the cream. Mix it together. In fact, actually what I do is I mix it together and then I apply my cream in the usual way. Not forgetting that. And if there's any left on your hands, backs of your hands. Backs of the hands are what everybody sees, and they will benefit just as much from these toning, moisturizing products as your face will. So that is as simple as it can be. A little bit of your normal moisturizer, a drop of a booster, and on, and that's it. So it's not a complicated addition to your normal routine. Obviously, if you don't have a routine at the moment, then perhaps come and have a chat to me, and I can help you with that and keep it super simple. Yes, you can layer it up. You can layer them up. You can use them differently at different times. So I have been known to do that one in the morning and that one in the evening. Currently, I'm just using this one. In fact, during the summer, I was using this during the morning and then that one at night. You can use them both together. There's no reason why you couldn't add 2 or 3 drops of different ones together. If you're using the rosehip oil, I wouldn't mix it in the same handful as the gels because I think the gels and the oil probably wouldn't blend together. So I'd do one and then the other, and I would do the gel first and then the oil on top of that. And of course, once you've applied your booster, you can then go straight in with your serum if you use one and your cream as well, and keep it really simple. And that is these gorgeous, gorgeous skincare boosters. So quick run through on the prices. The hyaluronic acid for dry or dehydrated skin, fine lines and wrinkles is £18. The vitamin C, dullness, even uneven skin tone and also dry skin is £20. The rosehip oil for dullness, hyperpigmentation, and scarring is £20. And the new Mahonia gel is for blemishes and uneven skin tone is £20 for the time being. Here at the Home Shopping Channel, we're getting it for 20. It will be 23 in the shops and 23 for us from January. So now is a good time to get it. And that is a quick run through on the boosters. I hope you've loved those. If you would like a copy of the brochure, if you'd like to come and see me in person and actually try them on your own skin, then do drop me a message at ann@medalla.space and or reply to this if you see this on if I've sent it to you or you see it on a channel, then do drop me a message with boosters in the title and I'll know exactly what you're looking for and I can get this out to you. If you'd like a copy of the brochure, again, drop me a line. Have a great day. Lots of love. Bye bye.